afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, Senator Risa Hontiveros files an NBI complaint over a viral video accusing her of paying a witness for false testimony. Are veteran senators forming a new bloc in the Senate? Find out in the show. U.S. President Donald Trump intensifying his rhetoric against tech billionaire Elon Musk. He now says he's considering deporting his former ally. And a mega deal for OKC Thunder Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as he's set to become the highest paid in the NBA. Thanks for joining us. Senator Risa Hontiveros now seeking the NBI's help over a viral video accusing her of paying a witness for false testimony. For more on this story, Andrea Salve joins us from the NBI office where Hontiveros filed the complaint this morning. Andrea, what can you tell us?
Senator Risa Hontiveros has filed a cyber libel complaint before the National Bureau of Investigation against Michael Murillo, also known as alias Rene, a former Senate witness against Kingdom of Jesus Christ Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, as well as the social media page Pagtanggol Valiente. The complaint stems from circulating videos in which alias Rene claims he was influenced to testify against the religious leader, former President Rodrigo Duterte, and Vice President Sara Duterte. Senator Hontiveros also seeks the assistance of the NBI to investigate several social media bloggers who she says serve as disinformation channels for the said videos. Key personalities to be investigated are media man Jay Sonza, Sas Casot, Crisette Chu, Trixie Cruz Angeles, and Banat Bay. The senator emphasized that this is the first step towards their hunt for justice. She says her solid stance against dangerous lies targeting the Senate, the witnesses, and her staff. Senator Hontiveros shared there remains to be no update on alias Rene's whereabouts after he sought rescue from allegedly being kidnapped by the KOJC. She said she continues to pray for his safety. However, she stays firm on holding him accountable for the videos. The senator earlier presented screenshots of his emails to prove he was the one who approached her office to testify freely and voluntarily. As for the social media page Pagtanggol Valiente, Senator Hontiveros notes that it was created last June 24, the day after Rene's last messages. She asked the NBI to identify the personality behind the account. Mai?
Thank you, Andrea Salve, reporting from the NBI office in Pasay City. A new bloc may just be brewing in the Senate. Senator Migs Zubiri says a group composed of veteran lawmakers may be formed, and it will include him, Tito Soto, Ping Lacson, and Loren Legarda. Zubiri adds that he fully supports Soto for the Senate presidency. Soto has repeatedly expressed his readiness to lead the Senate anew should he get enough support from his colleagues. Senator Joel Villanueva earlier revealed Senate President Cheese Escudero has won the majority. Zubiri became Senate President in 2022 and was replaced by Escudero last year. ML Party List Representative Leila de Lima is not yet ready to forgive former President Rodrigo Duterte for her years-long detention. On billionaire news channels On Point, De Lima says she has forgiven many people except for her, quote, chief oppressor. De Lima adds she could have applied and been approved for asylum as her case was clearly political persecution. De Lima was arrested in 2017 and spent more than 6 years in prison on drug charges. A Muntinlupa court recently reaffirmed her acquittal in the cases.
I have already forgiven the rest, all of them, including the former Secretary of Justice. I've forgiven him already. And all those who aided, those who acted as handlers of these witnesses, and especially those witnesses, every one of them I've forgiven already, even though most of them did not ask for forgiveness. Only about 2 or 3 of them asked for forgiveness. But the president, the former president, not yet. I'm not ready to do that.
Expelled Congressman Arie Deves is back in jail after a 2-week confinement for an appendectomy. Deves was discharged from the Philippine General Hospital last night and was transferred to Camp Bagong Diwa in Taguig. He was rushed to hospital on June 17, complaining of severe abdominal pain. His arraignment has now been moved from June 30th to July 14th. He faces murder charges in connection with the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 9 others in 2023. Police Chief General Nicolas Torre III orders a review of the PNP's standard operating procedures and equipment. This after a police officer lost his life in the line of duty. Francis Falve with the details.
We are going to review our procedures.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Nicolas Torre III visited the wake of patrolman Harwin Courtney Bagay at Camp Caringal. He was the police officer who was fatally shot by a suspect in a robbery incident in Commonwealth, Quezon City. The suspect also died after being shot by Patrolman Bagay, who was already wounded at that time. According to General Torre, the officer showed great courage in his actions, which is why he deserves to be awarded the Medal of Valor. Torre added that while it is tragic to lose a member of their ranks, it also shows the faster response of police to crimes.
Ang responding ngayon, nakikita natin talagang inaabutan ng pulis ang mga kriminal. Sa Cebu, ganun din ang nangyari. May nang-agaw ng baril, pero responde ang pulis ng mabilis, inabutan nga ng kriminal. Isang nakakalungkot na balita rin, na incident rin. Napatay din ng kriminal ang ating pulis. It's never a consolation na napatay din natin yung kriminal na nakapatay sa pulis na.
Because of this, the PNP leadership will review their safety procedures and equipment to determine if police also need additional firearms.
Reviewing our procedures, we are also reviewing our SOPs para ma-mitigate and danger. Kasi totoo talaga yan. Kaya nga, kung saan tumatakbo palayo ang ibang mga mamamayan dahil sa takot, dahil sa may nangyayari na may kriminal na nagdadala, ang pulis ay pasalubong.
Apart from financial support, Torre also ordered the expedited release of benefits to the family left behind by Bagay. The Bagay family accepted that the patrolman gave his life in service of others. While they're sad about his fate, they said they will always be proud of his heroism. Francis Polbe, Billionaire News Channel.
A low-pressure area east of Luzon is expected to develop into a tropical depression. Let's get an update on this from Pag-asa weather specialist Ana Cloren Horda. Ana, what's the latest at ano ang mga areas na maaapektuhan kapag naging bagyo itong LPA?
Yes po, sa magandang umaga din po, no? At ngayon po yung low pressure area na ating minomonitor ay nasa layong 230 kilometers silangan po ito ng Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. At ang nasabi nating LPA ay mataas ang tsansa na maging isang bagyo within 24 hours. At kapag naging bagyo ito, papangalanan po natin bagyong CBC. At sa kasalukuyan po, no, malapit na po ito din sa may Northern Luzon or sa may Cagayan area. Kaya po ngayong araw, inaasahan natin na mga karanas na ng mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan, mga pagkidlat at pagkulog ang bahagi ng Ilocos Region, Cordillera Region, Cagayan Valley, Aurora at Nueva Ecija. At yung habagat naman po, no, prevailing o umiiral pa rin. Kaya po dito sa Metro Manila, sa Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, Western Visayas, and the rest of Central Luzon ay makakaranas pa rin po ng mga pag-ulan, lalo na ngayong hapon, hanggang gabi at pati na rin po sa madaling araw. The rest of the country, fair weather condition aside from isolated rain showers po sa hapon at sa gabi.
Ana, magla-landfall ba itong paparating na bagyong CBC?
Si Bising po ay kung nakikita po natin ngayon, nalalapit po ito sa dyan sa may bahagi ng Northern Luzon. So di po natin nire-roll out yung possibility or pwede rin po na dumaan lang po siya malapit dyan sa may isla po sa extreme Northern Luzon.
Alright, maraming salamat. Pag-asa Weather Specialist Ana Cloren Horda. Government agencies mark the start of National Disaster Resilience Month by urging Filipinos to adopt a mindset shift when it comes to disasters. Paulo Barcelon reports.
The Office of Civil Defense, alongside various government and civic organizations, led the kickoff for the 2025 National Disaster Resilience Month. in a bid to try and get more Filipinos involved and prepared for various disasters. OCD Deputy Administrator for Operation Cesar Idio says achieving this goal is not just a thing that can be achieved in a day or in a year.
Disaster readiness is not a one-time goal, rather a dynamic and evolving practice that persistently requires sustained effort and constant progress.
In the first half of 2025 alone, the country has seen multiple threats of natural disasters, such as volcanic activity and flash floods. Veteran rescue Dr. Ted Esguerra says areas under joint threat of both volcanoes and rainfall should prepare not just in terms of information, but also in terms of their disaster response capabilities.
We have flash flood, groundwater flooding. We have urban flooding, we have riverine flooding, coastal flooding, all sorts of flooding. Now, if you mix it with lahar, the more it's very destructive kasi ang tubig pwede nang sumira ng ari-arian, kumitin ng buhay, dagdagan mo pa ng mga bato na ipagulong niya with respect to the elevation kung saan siya dumadaan.
Esguerra also says with the advent of social media, fake news about disasters can be a threat to public awareness. He shares 3 tips on how to spot fakes in terms of news about disasters, the first one being checking if the post came from reputable news organizations.
Una, medyo mahirap to. Tingnan nyo kung yung nag-post ay legit. So alam natin legit kasi sila talaga yung may karapatang mag-post. Number 2, tingnan mo if it's too much rigged with emotion. Because when you are reading features or straight news, these are not really emotional. These are just data and statistics of facts happening around. And pangatlo, let's be cautious and pause for a while. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na mga unintentional spreader. Ito yung mga taong hindi naman masama. Nag-post lang sila kasi sa tingin nila baka makatulong. Pero hindi nila na-verify. So unintentional spreader. Kasi minsan mahirap rin i-analyze ang mga issues, lalo na uso na ang AI ngayon.
The OCD meanwhile has tapped actor Dingdong Dantes in its revitalized Panatag Pilipinas campaign to help spread the word in fact-checking about disasters. Infomercials featuring him will now be shown in public screens in select malls, cinemas, and other locations nationwide in a bid to deliver basic information on what to do before, during, and after disasters. Paulo Barcelon, Billionaire News Channel.
Residents of Cavite can now buy rice for 20 pesos per kilo. President Bongbong Marcos led the launch of the sale of more affordable rice at Zapote Public Market in Bacoor. He was joined by Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel. The Agriculture Department initially rolled out the program in the Visayas. The DA aims to sustain the initiative through June 2028, potentially reaching 15 million households. Amid concerns from farmers, Marcos has given his assurance that farm gate prices will not be affected by the program. A Filipina-Swiss millionaire embroiled in a royal scandal in Britain. The Sunday Times reports Minerva Mondejar Steiner has been dropped as sponsor of the upcoming Royal Charity Polo Cup. This after she allegedly offered private meetings with Prince William and his wife Catherine for a staggering $27,000. Her team also reportedly tried to sell VIP tickets and magazine ads in exchange for donations. Event organizers are said to have cut ties with Steiner, who owns the Mondejar Gallery. The gallery has branches in various cities, including Sydney, Makati, and Tacloban. U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions to finalize a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. Trump says this follows a long and productive meeting between his envoys and Israelis. He adds Qatar and Egypt are now tasked with delivering the final proposal. He also urges Hamas to take the deal. The conflict began October 2023 after Israel launched a military campaign in response to an attack by the Hamas militant group. More than 56,000 people in Gaza have been killed since then. Tense voting at the U.S. Senate for Donald Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill. With a vote at a stalemate, Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote to narrowly approve the controversial spending bill 51 to 50. 3 Republicans joined Democrats in opposing the measure, which now heads back to the House of Representatives for final approval.
With this legislation, we're fulfilling the mandate we were entrusted with last November and setting our country and the American people up to be safer, stronger, and more prosperous. I look forward to the House taking up and passing this historic legislation and getting it to the President's desk.
Senate Republicans betrayed the American people and covered this chamber in shame. In one fell swoop, Republicans passed the biggest tax breaks for billionaires ever seen, paid for by ripping health care away from millions of Americans, taking food out of the mouth of hungry kids. This is not a big, beautiful bill at all. That is why I moved on the floor to strike the title. It is now called the Act, but it is really a big, ugly betrayal.
Trump has said he wants to sign the bill into law by July 4, Independence Day.
Well, I just heard that about the Senate, and the bill just passed, and it tells you there's something for everyone. I mean, it's a great bill. There is something for everyone, and I think it's going to go very nicely in the House. Actually, I think it will be easier in the House than it was in the Senate.
Trump's spending bill was the cause of his bitter breakup with the world's richest man, Elon Musk. As their public spat reignites, Trump says he's now considering deporting the tech billionaire. Musk, a South African national and a naturalized U.S. citizen, has repeatedly slammed Trump's spending bill, arguing it will increase America's debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion. On his social media platform X, Musk said he's tempted to escalate the feud, but will refrain for now. A partial verdict reached in the sex trafficking trial of former hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. After 2 days of deliberation, the jury now has a verdict on 2 counts of sex trafficking and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. They have yet to agree on the top charge, which is for racketeering conspiracy. This comes after a 7-week trial in which his former girlfriends, including Philam Cassie Ventura, had testified against him. Combs had pleaded not guilty to all 5 counts. If convicted, the former billionaire could face life in prison. Taking a break, still to come, OKC main man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is getting the highest annual salary in NBA history. That and more when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Victory just got even sweeter for OKC main man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. ESPN reports SGAA agreed to a 4-year, $285 million super maximum contract extension with the Thunder, locking him in through the 2030 to 2031 season. That makes it the richest annual salary for a player in league history. It has been a huge season for Shai, who led the Thunder to its first ever NBA title. He also took home the regular season MVP and finals MVP honors. Las Pilipinas locks in a quarterfinal spot at the 19th VTV International Women's Volleyball Cup in Vietnam. The national team crushed Australia in straight sets, with rookie Leila Malaluan delivering key hits in the clincher. Tia Andaya and Vanny Gandler fueled the late run to close out strong. Las Pilipinas now holds a 2-1 record in Pool A behind host Vietnam. The Filipinas will face Thailand tomorrow. And all heart for Filipino tennis phenom Alex Ayala despite falling short in her main draw debut at Wimbledon. The women's world number 56 faced defending champion Barbora Krejcikova in her debut on center court. Alex put up a fight, even winning the first set 6-3, but Krejcikova showed her championship poise and rallied back to win in 3 sets 6-2 and 6-1. In the post-match interview, the reigning Wimbledon queen praised Alex, saying she has a promising future ahead.
I would like to start with giving the credits to Alex. What the hell she played in the first set. She was smashing the ball and she was cleaning the lines and all that. So, wow, it's a next generation coming. That she's gonna come up and she's gonna be really good in a couple of years. So, first of all, big credit to her.
Alex is teaming up with German Eva Lies in the ladies doubles event tomorrow night. And in entertainment, get ready world as BTS is back in business. The K-pop supergroup has announced plans for a new album and world tour in 2026, as revealed by all 7 members in their first live stream in nearly 3 years. The group's leader, RM, says work on their new music begins this month. BTS went on hiatus in 2022 to fulfill their mandatory military service. They've all completed their enlistment last month. And Jennifer Aniston set to star and executive produce a new Apple TV series. The 10-episode dramedy is based on Jeanette McCurdy's 2022 memoir titled I'm Glad My Mom Died. McCurdy herself will also serve as executive producer and showrunner. There's no word yet on the show's release date. The book details McCurdy's struggles as a former child actor while dealing with an abusive mother. She rose to fame with her role on the Nickelodeon sitcom iCarly, which she reprised on the spin-off series Sam and Cat. The memoir reached over 80 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay with the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.